Sort of easier. Yeah. How about yourself?
Can I join you? What now? And like that brings me up
Yeah.
That's where I fly in. Up on the back. Tip of the
I did. I dropped you like a fucking
Last week, already. We'll play around.
You'll be the judge. I'll give you a pass. No, I told her about it. End of October, it's president
Even Jeremy has.
Very nice to meet you too. It's a wonderful Talk to me. I stand there like, I don't feel so good. Unless you really want me to, I want you to. I want you to. You're my cousin. Yeah, Ben Street. Us old guys, these young strapping guys. Good. Good show. I'm just here for support. I appreciate it, George. It's great to be here. When you hear No problem. See you, old Mitchell.
He always has his trademark on.
Yeah.
So I gave you.
Maybe, you know, my head, I don't know, you know where they are.
Hey,
Oni bonjour. Good day. Wapshke makokwan dishnikas. No shandoden. Oshikigmang donjiba. My spirit name is White Bear Woman. I'm of the Fish Clan, and I'm from Curve Lake First Nation. Welcome everyone today. What an exciting time we have before us, and I won't reveal a thing. Thank you so much for coming. It's very important to us, and I say us, and literally, because I feel very much part of this family, and I feel very much part of making it a success, and the progress that we're about to hear will inspire many of us. So thank you so much. This acknowledgement, we have taken the lead on this in terms of making sure that our land and the beauty around us is certainly recognized. Many of the agencies and churches and interest groups, the institutions like Trent University, Sir Sanford Fleming College, have adopted this land acknowledgement, and it was blessed by our First Nation Council as well as our Elders Advisory and accepted very well with our neighbor communities. Today, we respectfully acknowledge that the Peterborough Canoe Museum is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and in the traditional territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations, which include Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Rama, Beausoleil, and Georgina Island. We respectfully acknowledge that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain the responsibility to ensure that their health and integrity for generations to come. And I hope that you share that with us, because more and more we need to be cognizant of the quality of the water. And I say that with much passion, as you have heard. Curve Lake is a boil water advisory community, and I guess I beg and indulge you to make sure that yourselves and those who are using the waters are using it with much respect. And in saying that, without water, we wouldn't be here today. It's important that we recognize that, because, the very point of canoes in this building is needing that water as well. It was our first highway. And as you know, Creator has also made the point of having the beauty around us, the natural beauty, the animals, the plant life, and all that come with it. So just be mindful today, and in the future, make sure you extend those teachings to the young ones. And I hear the young ones in the building today. So let's be mindful of all of that. Thank you very much, making sure that you're inclusive also of our local First Nations and our Métis friends. And I see many of my friends here. Mayor Bennett, thank you for being here. And others that are here to celebrate what's before you. Chimiwach, and thank you.
Ani bojo, wawash kashto dam, megazekwe dushnikas, Lori Jaganash win, Mississauga, Anishinaabe, and Dow. Good afternoon, everyone. My spirit name is Eagle Woman. My English name is Lori. I am Mississauga from Hiawatha First Nation and the chief of my community. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you, as Chief Williams did, to the traditional territory of the Mississauga peoples, Treaty 20, and the larger Williams Treaty area. Hiawatha, Curve Lake, and Scugog Island First Nations are signatories to, and also signatories to the 1923 Williams Treaty with several other First Nations. And for those who may not be aware of my community of Hiawatha, we're located just 30 kilometers southeast of Peterborough on the north shore of Rice Lake. And I'm very honored to be here today and to say welcome and support the Canoe Museum on their quest towards the future of the new museum. Their dedication and hard work on fundraising initiative has been remarkable and is very important, as it is the lifeblood of nonprofit organizations and specifically to this project. And to the individuals, companies, organizations, governments, all those who donate, please know that your generous gifts are what will make this a success to benefit all peoples, all communities across Canada. Miigwech and welcome. Thank you.
Hello and welcome, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Métis Nation has a strong connection, always has a strong connection with the inland waterways of this beautiful country. The canoe has been an important part of this history in our culture. The Métis voyageurs depended and trusted their lives with it. Here at the Canadian Canoe Museum, our history is proudly reflected as part of the early fur trade here in Canada. The Métis Nation is honored to have its history and culture displayed by the Canadian Canoe Museum. We, as a nation, are pleased to see this project grow and become a treasure to all Canadians. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bonjour, hello, Annie. I would like to begin, as many have already, by acknowledging the land upon which we are meeting today, of the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Mississauga, and of course the lands that are part of the territory of the Williams Treaties. Thank you to Chief Phyllis Williams, to Lori Carr of Hiawatha First Nation, and to Andy Dufresne of the Métis Nation of Ontario, the Peterborough and Wapiti chapter. We've had an excellent welcome to the day, and I think we're off to a good start. We also heard from our friends, the Washkigamong Women's Hand Drum, and I'd like to thank you folks for coming and being part of our special day today. Thank you. So, and welcome to the Canadian Canoe Museum. My name is Carolyn Heslop. I should introduce myself. I'm the Executive Director here at the Canoe Museum and honored to be part of this important History in the Making Day. We have a wonderful agenda for you. I'm joined here by my colleague, John Ronson, who is Chair of the Board of Directors. We welcome those of you. We have those of you in the room today that we're welcoming, and we also have those of you that are joining us virtually through YouTube. So thank you for joining us. The group that are collected here are our members, our volunteers that have been with us for many, many years, our partners and our supporters, our many, many group of community stakeholders like Economic Development and Parks Canada that have been a component of the Canoe Museum's plan and the work that we've done so far. So thank you to all of you that are here today. The museum was fortunate to have just celebrated its 20th anniversary this past June, and it is with the group of supporters that we have that we can thank for this, what we're about to announce, and the amount of momentum that we've had for the project. So I turn it over to John.
Thank you, Carolyn. So the Canadian Canoe Museum is moving to the water's edge. The new museum will be built next to the Peterborough Lift Lock and the Trent Severn Waterway, both of which are national historic sites. This is thanks to an innovative partnership with Parks Canada. Together, we are working to create a major cultural and recreational destination right here in Peterborough. We are stewards of the world's largest and most significant collection of canoes, kayaks, and paddled watercraft. We believe it is our responsibility to ensure that these watercraft and their stories of national and international significance have the best possible home. They have a pivotal role to play in our collective future. The new museum is designed by an award-winning team of Hennigan Peng architects from Dublin, Ireland, with Kearns Mancini Architects, Toronto, Canada. They were working upstairs. I don't know if they came down for the announcement or not. They're up here. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The museum is partnered with world-class exhibition design firm GSM Project to create one-of-a-kind visitor experiences. This past year, as Carolyn stated, the project gained much momentum. While we advanced the architectural design of the facility and can say with certainty that it's spectacular, received foundational financial support from the County of Peterborough, City of Peterborough, thank you, Mayor Bennett, the Government of Ontario. Is pivotal in the announcement you're about to hear, and I won't preempt the announcement, how it feels. The Canadian Canoe Museum has a national role to play, and from the new museum, we will be better positioned to fulfill that national role. We will attract more visitors from around the country and around the world, and we will reach out even further from our high-profile headquarters. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce my colleague, Bill Morris, past chair of the board of directors and now campaign chair. Bill.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Carolyn. It's a wonderful day to be at the museum. The new museum project is being supported by a $65 million capital project. And I have the pleasure of working with a wonderful group of people in our campaign cabinet many of whom are here today. Together, we are inspiring Canada by canoe. We're forecasting that slightly less than half of the campaign total will be generously funded by government sources, while the remainder will come from private donors across the country. Yes, the campaign will be supported by avid paddlers from coast to coast to coast. It will also be supported by those who believe that we have a unique opportunity with the canoe as our lens to tell Canada's story in a manner that includes the voices of all Canadians. At this stage of the campaign, we are reaching out across the country to potential leadership donors. And today's announcement sets the stage for our success. It is truly an honor for me to introduce Garfield Mitchell, a director of the W. Garfield Weston Foundation. The foundation has been a longtime supporter of the museum, dating back to 1995, 2 years prior to its opening, and was instrumental in its founding. Named the Garfield Weston National Heritage Center, these galleries were dedicated at an event by Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, Hilary Weston and Galen Weston in 1998. The foundation's support of and belief in our museum and its role has and continues to be truly transformational. I would like to call upon Garfield Mitchell to make an announcement.
Thank you, Bill. You and your team have been marvelous to work with to bring today's announcement to fruition. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to join the Canadian Canoe Museum community with my cousin and fellow foundation director, Jordy Dalglish, this afternoon to celebrate by recognizing the hard work of the museum's staff, volunteers, and board of directors to support a bold vision for this organization's future in Peterborough. Congratulations and well done. I also want to single out Bill Morris's leadership as your campaign chair. Bill, thank you for a highly productive dialogue these past few months, culminating in today's announcement. Our family and its foundation have had a long and proud association with the Canoe Museum, stretching back, as you've heard, to the 1990s, when my Aunt Hilary Weston, then Ontario's Lieutenant Governor, opened the museum's National Heritage Centre. Over the last 2 decades, all of us have seen this organization go from strength to strength, from assembling and preserving one of the world's great heritage canoe to impressing itself on the minds of Canadians as an iconic national institution. The inspiring vision for the museum's future to take place here at the water's edge in a spectacular new building in Peterborough moved our family and foundation. We're all ardent believers that this institution's time has come to have a national impact and presence of the first order. This is why it gives me great pleasure today to announce on behalf of our chair, Galen Weston, a leadership gift to help with the construction and educational programming for the new museum of $7.5 million. That's good. It is important to our entire family that this gift preserve the Canadian Canoe Museum as the organization's name and enduring identity. All of you who have worked so hard on behalf of this institution over the years deserve nothing less. In closing, allow me a moment to recognize one of our store managers here from the half dozen or so Loblaw group of companies servicing the Peterborough area. Ryan Willis, are you here? Oh, Ryan, good. Ryan's manager of the Peterborough RCS Superstore. Welcome and thank you for being here. Thank you, Ryan. Our foundation's ability to support projects like the Canoe Museum that enrich the across Canada. For your time.
Wow, how about that? How about that? Can we just say that again? $7.5 million. This very generous amount. Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah. Garfield, on behalf of the board of directors, our staff, our volunteers, supporters from coast to coast, thank you. And Jordy, thank you as well too as a member of the foundation. Roger, thank you for working with Bill to steward this through in partnership. That was great. And Ryan, thank you. We know that the generosity of the Weston Foundation is underpinned by stores like yours and more recently Shoppers Drug Mart and others. And we've been told, Garfield, that in 2019, when we have a more public phase to the campaign, that the stores are going to contribute in some way through some helping us with marketing the campaign and carrying the message more broadly. So we're very grateful for that as well. You know, I sometimes think transformational is a bit of an overused word, but today's announcement, which we billed as transformational, truly is. It's transformational not only in supporting the construction of the new museum. It will see our programming reach many more people inside the museum, outside the museum, actually virtually, literally throughout the world. I mean, Carolyn's told me that we've had school classes from India, from all over the States, from literally from all around the world participate in our programming here. So just to be, this won't come as a surprise, it says here, this is our capital campaign's lead private gift. Well, it certainly is. And again, we thank you. And you are building, as you mentioned, Garfield, on your more than 20-year legacy of leadership with the organization. We're grateful for the ongoing and long-standing support, and also for sharing in our vision for the future of the museum. As you mentioned, the gift will support capital costs and educational program development, but I think, I don't know if it's as importantly, but importantly, it's also going to inspire others to invest in this project as well too, and it will propel us forward in a way that we could only have imagined. It really does set the foundation for the capital campaign. You've heard us say before that the new museum is significant for the city and county of Peterborough and beyond. The museum will allow us to showcase and share Peterborough, even more so than we already do, with its rich industrial heritage and its deep connections to canoe manufacturing. Rudyard and Garfield got here a few minutes early, and we went down and had a look at the industrial canoe exhibit, and the roots really do run deep in canoe manufacturing. And just to be clear, and I checked this with the mayor and others, this announcement represents the largest private one-time gift to a charitable organization in the city and the county of Peterborough. So I think thank you very much. Joined by community leaders who would like to join the museum in expressing their appreciation to the foundation. Please welcome the MP for Peterborough Kawartha and the Minister of the Status of Women, the Honourable Miriam Monsef, to the podium.
Thank you, John, and many thanks to the Wishkigamon Hand Drum Group for beginning today's gathering in such a lovely and important way, and to the Métis and First Nation leaders who welcomed us so generously to this beautiful place we call home. And congratulations to the Canoe Museum family for a number of reasons. Firstly, you have managed to bring on board the incredible Karen August, who has a tendency to make things better, whether it was at the Market Hall or the Chamber. She has left the places she's worked at stronger, and now she's here joining the incredible Sherlan and the team at the Canoe Museum. So this beautiful campaign is indeed well on its way, and many thanks to the Weston family. And Jordy, you and I are seatmates right now, and I'm giving you a hard time, but it's coming from a place of gratitude, because you see what so many have seen in this project, which is not just its potential for preserving the history of this country, but for the economic benefits it's going to bring to this region. The first time I got an official tour of this place, I was shown this map by Richard. And he reminded me, as John often does, that Canada is a nation of rivers and a river of nations. And for all the ways that the canoe has played an important role in Canada's economic and historic realities, there's a moment now where this vessel can be an opportunity for us to bring together a country that is vast and at times divided. That's where I see the greatest value in this project. Beyond the treasure that it is in this community, the canoe has the power, I believe, through the support it's received from so many, to bring us closer together in this important era of reconciliation, and I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful as the federal rep that we invested $1.4 million in July 2016, which was matched by early leadership donors to kick off the support for this beautiful dream that's brought us together. We also know that the Trans-Severn Waterway is an important feature for this community and an important asset to continue to build upon, which is why, along with the lift locks and Parks Canada, we invested $600 million
into ensuring that it is preserved as an important jewel in this community for generations to come. What your family has enabled us to do, and when I say family, I mean the broader employees and managers like you who work really hard to make sure that philanthropic opportunities like this are possible. What you've enabled us to do is to mark a really important moment in this campaign. And I know that in 20 years from now, we will all be so proud of having played a small part in this important institution being moved and all the ways that it's going to move people for generations to come. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to somebody breaking your record for being the largest donor to the city. It's on.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I hope they break the record as part of this campaign. You never know. So I don't think Warden Taylor, the county council sits today, and the warden's in the chair, so he said he'd get here if he could. Joe Taylor, many of you know, is a huge supporter of the Canadian Canoe Museum. If he got here, he would show up in gear. He has, I think, every bit of swag and gear that including the paddle that the Canoe Museum has produced. I will just read some brief remarks from Warden Taylor. On behalf of Peterborough County Council and staff, I would like to congratulate the Canadian Canoe Museum in securing this vital donation from the Garfield Weston Foundation. Peterborough County Council recognized the importance of this project to our region and have committed to a multi-year investment as well. Investments in important projects such as the new Canadian Canoe Museum shine a light on Canada's rich cultural and historical identity. Thank you to the Foundation for its generous and important investment today. Again, congratulations to all involved in securing this historical investment in this region. And I might say, members of the Foundation, Mayor Bennett and Warden Taylor, commented that the support of the city and the county was absolutely foundational. I know I've got a couple of, at least two council members, Dave Hackney and Leslie Parnell, here as well. That without that demonstration of local support, we probably wouldn't be sitting here today. So thank you very much. And with that, Mayor Bennett, please.
Well, let me just start out with a large wow. And Daphne, you're dead on. That is a lot of money. I could start recognizing people. You missed Keith Riel when you picked the councillors. But how may I just say dignitaries, one and all? It's a great pleasure for me to be here and represent the city of Peterborough for events of this nature. I will say, Bill and John and Carolyn, you do know how to hold a press conference. You've got all the right people here, and everybody's saying the right thing, so that's wonderful. I hope that I can continue to contribute to the specialness of this afternoon. Certainly joining my colleagues and the entire community in thanking the Weston family and Foundation for the generous gift to the Canoe Museum and their continued support of that. This is truly an economic hub, and it has the ability to preserve a significant part of our national heritage, to share the story of the country through the story of the canoe, and to inspire us to all move forward together. Your gift will help build a solid foundation for this national institution to ensure that it can continue its mission for future generations of Canadians. Your gift places the Canadian Canoe Museum alongside the other premier cultural and educational institutions that have benefited from the support of the Weston Foundation over the years, including the Ontario Science Centre, the Art Gallery of Ontario, the Royal Ontario Museum. Your gift is a beacon. It's a beacon for others to support this very ambitious and inspiring project. On behalf of Peterborough, thank you for your contributions. through your business activities, through your philanthropic efforts, and through your personal involvement in countless causes for the good of our entire country. As a symbol of our committee's gratitude for your support of the Canadian Canoe Museum, I am honored to present the Weston family and Weston Foundation with a key to the city of Peterborough, our city. Finally, we have some luck. It's tall. It's wonderful. This, by gesture, will allow you to come in and out of the city at your leisure. You can try to use it as a parking meter, but it won't work. But it's an absolute thrill for me to be here. It's an honor for me to present this, and it's on behalf of the entire community. A thank you for your very special connection to the Canoe Museum, and by extension, to our community.
Excellent. Very exciting. Thank you very much, Minister Monsef, Mayor Bennett, and Joe Taylor. If you were here, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today, and the roles, of course, that you've each played in bringing this project to life. You've all had a role to play. This is definitely, like Joan said, this is probably one of the most incredible days for the Canadian Canoe Museum. And this is a day that we will not forget, and that will mark our memories for the rest of the project. I think what's important to think about is that this day celebrates the importance of the collection that we have here and the work that our team does to bring the collection to life and to inspire curiosity, connections, and new understanding through the collection. I'd like to thank again the W. Garfield Weston Foundation for your investment and this demonstration of your steadfast support since the beginning to today and into the future. This is one significant step forward, closer to realizing the dream that we've had with this organization easily for the last 10 years. And we will be creating together in partnership a dynamic destination and a one-of-a-kind opportunity and cultural space for this community and the broader Canadian community. Now, I would like, we haven't prepped this, but I'd like to invite Garfield on behalf of the foundation and possibly some other members to carve our ceremonial paddle. So a little bit about this process. Here is the story here. So we began this carving of the paddle as a symbol of the journey to the new museum. Of course, we have an incredible collection of paddles, over 600 in fact, and some of them will be on display with the new exhibition that's opening up downstairs, and you'll get a sneak peek of that right after this. This paddle is, like many, with great dedication and determination over time, it'll begin to take shape. And so the finished product will be an extraordinary, one-of-a-kind example of the many paddles in the Canoe Museum's world-class collection. It's also an incredible story to tell, and it will carry with it all the different stories, like the canoes in the collection, all the different stories of people's interaction with them over time. And those are the stories that we want to tell in the new space and in the current space to be able to bring these beautiful creatures to life. So with that in mind, we would really be honored if you could take a few swipes on the paddle. I'll help structure where we're going to carve. We don't want a toothpick at the end of our campaign. We'd like this to be a paddle that we can put on the wall at the opening of the museum and to be truly representative of all of the different people that have had a hand in this process. And Molly's going to assist us here. This is all right. So for those, we're going to take a shot on the blade here. I'll show you some of it.
That's it.
Please go on the, no, oh. Please go on the sort of a vice. That is a vice. Yeah, there you go. And you're going to take off edges.
All right, edges.
Yeah,
Okay.
edges. There you go. Me? You want me in here?
There we go.
There you go. Shaving your, shaving your.
Late.
Here it takes more work than this.
Okay. Don't dig in too deep.
All right.
Beautiful. A little curly. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Beautiful. Next.
Yeah. All thumbs, don't cut yourself.
Use your thumbs either side. Wrong way.
Strong.
Good.
Nice.
You're a natural.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'd like to, I've said a lot of thanks, but I just wanted to, as a final thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy schedules and your days to make it. Some of you have driven from Toronto and further afield to be part of our day. And of course, we have our people tuning in live, skipping work to watch this wonderful announcement. Great job. We have also prepared, post this announcement, a few fun little things to give you a little sampling of what's to come. Later in June, we will be opening a new exhibition downstairs in the main lobby. And so Jeremy Ward, our curator, and his team, Beth Stanley and Liz Watkins, have been working away at pulling together some of their artifacts. We don't open for another month for this new exhibition, but they've made it happen so that we can give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. And there's a great selection of boats down there with wonderful story opportunity as well. We will be hosting a small reception in the trading post. So just downstairs here at the bottom of the stairs, hang a right, there'll be some coffee and tea and some snacks in there. So please mingle about. The museum's open. You've already left work, so just stay and enjoy your time here. For those of you who do want to get the tour, Jeremy will meet you at the bottom of the stairs. And for the media that's interested in interviews and photos, etc., they can stay up here. I'm looking to Alicia. Everybody staying up here? Perfect. Okay. Everybody knows where they're supposed to go? Thank you very much.
I understand.
Wouldn't Kirk be so proud? No, Alicia's in. That's medium photography. Thank you, Kirk.
Garfield and Whipper. And how long ago was that? Thank you. Way back when. With your mom.